And this morning, Pat Fernandez takes us to a space in Quezon City where you can learn a thing or two about yoga. Hi again, Pat.
Hillary, to overcome stress and flexibility issues, a lot of people actually turn to yoga. And to tell us more about it this morning is an instructor from White Space, Miss Eileen Tupas. Hello, good morning.
Hi, good morning, Pat.
Welcome to Daybreak. Okay, so can you tell us how do we overcome the apprehension for those people who actually are scared to try yoga?
Well, a lot of people are worried about yoga because they think that you have to be strong or flexible already to start doing it. What most people don't realize is that you actually become strong and flexible by doing yoga. Before I started doing yoga, for instance, I was really stiff. I had a terrible fitness background, really stayed away from it when I was a child, couldn't do anything, had no coordination. And yoga was the one thing that I could actually do because it was slow enough. And in the course of doing it, and it took years, that was when my body started opening up. I started becoming more flexible. I started getting stronger. And now what really surprises me, and it continues to surprise me to this day, is that I am stronger, healthier, more flexible than I ever was as a child. And that's what I would really tell people, which is yoga accepts you wherever you happen to be. You can be 60 when you start yoga. You can have bum knees when you start yoga. You can be the most inflexible person in the world and come into yoga. And it's really just a matter of taking that first step, being really patient and being really willing to work hard. And over time, people get surprised by what happens.
So this would actually benefit everybody. But how do you get started? Like in my case, I really have tense thighs. So they actually have props here at White Space. How do you use this so you would be able to do more poses?
Yeah. You hit a good point, because what we try to do here in White Space Mind and Body Wellness Studio is that we do use props to help level the playing field, because we get students from different backgrounds, different levels of ability, and the props just help level the playing field. Because sometimes it's not even that we're not strong or flexible enough, it's just our bone structure in a certain way. Maybe the arms are a little short relative to the legs or vice versa. And the props just kind of help people manage that so that they can do the poses safely and effectively. And for a lot of people, just having the props is what transforms the experience. It makes it bearable, or it makes it not uncomfortable anymore. And for some people, over time, their usage of the props decreases. And for some people, they just keep using the props for as long as they want to. I have really strong practitioners who continue to use props because it helps them do the poses more effectively. So the props are there regardless of whatever your ability level is, regardless of how long you've been doing yoga. It just makes things safer, more effective, and friendlier, frankly speaking.
In the case of more advanced students and more sporty enthusiasts, you mentioned earlier that they actually use these to level their body or to increase balance. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah. Well, yoga is one of those disciplines which really serves to enhance people's quality of life, for lack of a better term. If you're somebody who's never had any physical background, yoga is an excellent way to rediscover your body, find out what it can do, reconnect with it. For people who are already really active, it's a really great way of either complementing their work on their core or stretching muscles that are overworked. So we have runners who do yoga to just stretch their hamstrings, or swimmers who just do it to loosen up tight shoulder muscles, martial artists who use it to help complement their work on their balance. So it really doesn't matter. You have no sport, you have a sport, there's something that's there for you with the practice.
I see. So in my case, I often experience lower back pain. Can you teach us an exercise that would help us alleviate that dilemma?
That's a really excellent question. Yoga is now increasingly becoming a non-invasive and really cheap, for lack of a better word, intervention for a lot of people, because we do suffer from a lot of aches in the body that come from modern postural patterns, and lower back pain is one of the most common, and people live with it for years because, as far as they're concerned, this is just part of what I do for a living. I sit at a desk all day, so they'll endure it. And there's no one pose that you can do to address lower back pain. It ultimately depends on what is the source of your lower back pain. Is it because your psoas muscle is tight? Is it because you're hunched over at a desk all day? So with in our studio, a number of our teachers are also moving into the area of yoga therapy. What we do is we sometimes see clients for private purposes, and we come into the table and we kind of help them diagnose where is that tightness coming from. So what are you doing on a daily basis? When do you actually feel the lower back pain? What position is your body in when it actually kicks in, when the sensations kick in? And then based on that, then we recommend exercises they can do to start strengthening certain muscles or addressing certain imbalances.
I see. So you also customize the practice?
We absolutely do, yes.
Okay. You mentioned you also have your teacher programs. How long do you recommend for someone to be able to do this or to be able to teach yoga at home?
Okay. We offer regular classes, and these are the group classes that most people associate with yoga. You come into a room, there are different people, and the teacher takes you through a 75 to 90-minute class. But we also offer what's called a yoga teacher training program, and these are for people whose lives have been transformed by yoga, and there's a really passionate desire to share it with other people. And there are people who have no desire to teach, but they don't really have regular access to a studio, or they have access to a studio, but they really just want to know what they're doing better.
They want to achieve more independence.
Yes. So we have what's called a yoga teacher training program, and ours is designed for maximum flexibility because a lot of people who love yoga have full-time commitments, they have jobs, they have families. So our program runs for a period of 3 months. It's held only on the weekends, which gives people a lot more flexibility. And over the course of 10 weekends, it gives them an internationally recognized certification, which allows them to actually teach if they choose to do so.
Okay.
Yeah.
And with that, let's try just one pose.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm going to take Pat and my colleagues through what's called Gomukhasan, cow face posture. It's really good for tight hips. And I've had Pat sit on blocks because she mentioned that this was a problem area for her. And over time, she might move away from the blocks when it starts being comfortable. But what we'll do is that we'll just put the left knee down on the floor, and we'll try to layer the right knee on top of it. And if the knees aren't stacking up correctly at the beginning, that's perfectly fine. But what you can do is you can lift your hips up just a bit and see if it allows the knees to come a little closer to each other, and then just slowly lower down. Okay, both of your sit bones connecting with the floor. If there's still room in the hips, you can try to bring your feet a little closer to each other. Okay? And you can just rest your hands on top of your knees. You can watch TV like this if you want. Okay? It really works in the adductor muscles and starts stretching what are called the external hip rotators. And for a lot of people, this is inaccessible, but it's a really, really good pose to get into. Yeah.
There you go, guys. With this and these blocks, well, anything is conquerable. You see, Hillary, Amelin, you can try this later.